Right, we're back. This is Social Media Trends live from VN News, live from VN TV, the powerhouse of entertainment. We are accessible on www.vnationtv.com. My name is still Kelvin FNK. Follow us on our various social media handles and let's get interactive. A lot has indeed been happening, and whilst the entire nation of Nigeria waits for the presidential results, we have a lot of updates trending on social media that we'll bring into you on today's bulletin. Let's start with some of the top trending stories coming from Ghana. And Shatta Wale is back in the news again. Now this time around, he is saying that you know, being a good person made him poor, or being a good person gave him a low self-esteem. But when he started jabbing his colleagues in the industry and throwing trash at his colleagues and all that, that actually made him more popular. So Shatta Wale is saying that being respectful made me poor. Shatta Wale on why he insults his colleagues. So he was on an interview platform not too long, and he made mention of the fact that he's tried his possible best to be respectful over the past couple of years, but that really did not get him anywhere. But when he started opening his mouth very wide, we all know Shatta Wale has the widest mouth ever in the industry, well, that has actually given him more respect and more grounds. That is why everybody right now is talking about him. So he's saying that though he throws sharps at his colleagues, that doesn't really mean he actually meant the words he's saying. He is saying that those are just format. They are formation to, you know, to boost his brand. If that is your brand, well, we all know Sarkodie's response to stuff like this a couple of months ago when Shatta Wale and Sarkodie had this beef. But Shatta Wale is saying right now that being respectful made him poor, and now he's decided to make his brand bigger and higher, and by doing that is to throw jabs at his colleagues, and that for one is just his format. It doesn't really mean he meant those. Well, at the end of the day, wish him all the very best on that particular one. So let's talk a bit about Moesha Boduong. Now that Boduong, I actually like pronouncing it, very, very loud because she's a French. So Moesha Boduong has finally accepted to the fact that she did a liposuction. Now, interestingly, this particular question has been asked Moesha on tons of national interview. I mean to say, but what's her name? Moesha Boduong keeps saying that she's never done that. She's saying that the hips she had are natural, the stomach are all natural, everything is natural. But I think as the year progresses, when it's more like when you're a baby, you think like a baby. When you're growing up, you think like an adult. So I think gradually, she's now thinking like an adult. She's now come out to say that she actually did a liposuction on her stomach. So that's to tell you that for those of you who don't understand liposuction, now liposuction is when, for the one she did on her stomach is, they took some fat from the stomach and her waist and added it to other parts of the body. Now, I don't need to tell you the other parts of Moesha's body that the fats were added. You can actually see a picture and tell to yourself where the other parts and the fats were added. So she's come out to reveal that she actually did a liposuction. Now, that is a confirmation to tons of reports that she's actually denied over the past couple of years now. But she's saying that the hips you see are natural. If the stomach is lipo, what do you expect? Well, at the end of the day, she's come out to give that revelation and wish all the very best on that particular one. Now, Ghana has this amazing musician who I know, for one, she's not in, I won't say she has a lot of market here in Ghana. She actually has a lot of market in Europe and outside Ghana. I'm talking about Wiyala. Now, Wiyala is saying that any man who calls her ugly is immature. Interesting. I'm just going to be reading her words to you. She said, only immature boys sees me as ugly. So if you've ever in your life seen this particular artist you are seeing right now and you're a guy, you've called her ugly, that is to say that she's telling you right now that you are immature, especially if you are a man. Well, at the end of the day, she is saying that what other guys see to be ugly, that is exactly what her husband saw and fell down to her feet and took her to the altar. Of course, yes, she's indeed married. So those of you who think that she will never find a husband because she has the stronger Goliath body, sorry to break your bubbles. Wiyala is married and she's doing so well with her husband. And now she's come out to reveal during a latest interview that any man, let me use the word man, I'm not going to use the word boy. Any man who sees her or term her as ugly, that person is definitely immature. I don't know how that is going to work for them. Now let's talk a bit about our ongoing, I would say that, most recent election, general elections in Nigeria. Tons of celebrities went out to cast their vote. A lot of them took pictures, a lot of them took videos. So right now, I'm just going to give you a couple of moments to watch the videos and of course see pictures of tons of Nigerian entertainers who went out to vote on the election day.
Maybe I'm telling all of you on Instagram that I'm voting in Big Man area. See our police. See our police. You are police like this. Look at. Let me see our palo. Look at our room and palo. Look at that. Just look at that. Are you having a room and palo like this?
And this is really nice election.
A full duplex.
Right, so those were a lot of them actually came out in their numbers. We can bring all, you know, Nigeria, we are so blessed now. We have tons of entertainers, musicians, comedian, actors, you know, designers, models. They all came out in their numbers to vote, and that's where just a couple of them were able to pick out from social media. Now, still talking about the election, mind you, in our next bulletin, I'm pretty sure that by then the winner of the the presidential seats would have been announced by INEC. So when that comes out, we'll bring in new details in our subsequent bulletin. Now, still talking about Nigeria's election, we all know how Davido was so, outspoken when it comes to Nigerian election, on the fact that his uncle was contesting in a position in some of the states and all that. And all this political activity, Davido came out on social media, and even his colleagues were advising his other guys that, if everybody should come out and speak like Davido, it would actually mean a lot to the Nigerian atmosphere when it comes to picking our next leaders in the various political sectors in Nigeria. But interestingly, Davido was not in Nigeria on the day of the election. How can you make such noise? And when it comes to showing to the fact that you actually support Nigerian election, you were not there. He was in South Africa for an event, and a lot of his fans, especially those who have been following his ranting on social media when it comes to Nigerian politics, went on social media to blast him, asking him that if you have been outspoken when it comes to the politics all this while, why were you not present at the general election which took place over the weekend? And he was like, he was actually asking if the day of the election was indeed the day. I'm going to be reading to you his exact statement. So someone went out to say, please, if you want to insult Davido for being in South Africa on election day, just make sure you went indoors yesterday during the vote. Now that person is more like supporting the video, but this is when somebody asked him why he was not present at the election, he said, was the election meant to be yesterday? Asking, thank you, unlike you, I have a job. So, I mean, that is a clear statement to his colleagues who came out to vote. Does that mean they don't have a job? Of course, we know you have a job as a celebrity, to go perform, and as an entertainer, to go perform in South Africa and other places. But if he's saying that he never knew the election was on the said day, and he was actually telling the person who is questioning him, saying to the person that he has a job. So does that mean that the Nigerians who came out to vote over the weekend don't have a job? Is that what Davido is trying to say? I'm not here to spark out any controversy, but at least the man's word can actually speak for himself. Now, somebody said, but wait, all those shouting, Omo, come back home and vote, blah, blah, blah. Did you also tell Davido to come home and vote? Despite the fact that he lives and works from Nigeria, plus he has been a partisan, una hypocrisy for Nigeria, eh? Well, Nigerians would definitely talk about it. But seriously speaking, personally, I think I was actually expecting, I think, a video of the century where Davido will come out to say he's about to go take his vote. He's not, the coverage of the entire process where we see Davido actually voting. But he wasn't around. His colleagues, fans, and others were there. But at the end of the day, we are praying for the best in Nigeria. We all know that tons of reports, especially when you log onto our social media, you get tons of videos on how a couple of states had, negative accounts when it comes to the election. But at the end of the day, we are praying for a peaceful coalition and a good result from INEC. We'll see how that pans out in the coming days. Now, away from that, I just want to show you a video, an interesting video of a bride telling her Ashebi girl or Ashebi girls to stop dancing more than her, because if she does, she will tear and dirty slap. How can you dance more than the bride? Watch this. So interestingly, lots of so I'm going to be reading to you some comments people posted after the the whole dancing saga thing, and the girl, I don't know how the girl took it, but serious, so self-esteem issues like, sis, chill. Somebody was telling the bride to chill out. Another person say, if you try propose for that wedding, now shoot that girl, go shoot you. Well, interestingly, yeah, Nigerians don't want people, some people prefer if it is their moment, they want it to be their moment. Don't overshadow them because you are just a side attraction. But at the end of the day, that girl gave her opinion, and of course, we'll see how that pans out for them. We wish them a happy marriage life. Finally, on today's social media trends, let's talk a bit about R. Kelly. When it comes to R. Kelly issues, I've decided not to talk about him, but you know, this guy is a legend that all of a sudden is just gone down. So R. Kelly recently was arrested, and the same sex issues, sex scandal and all that, and he was granted bail to the worth sum of $1 million. Wow, the man was arrested and he was billed with $1 million. Mind you, this guy is gradually becoming, you know, broke. I don't know how to put it, but at the end of the day, the sexual allegations or the sex allegations towards R. Kelly are still standing. Now, in this particular case, he found guilty. He's going to be spending 70 years in prison. I'm not talking about 7 years, 70 years in prison. But at the end of the day, R. Kelly, wish him all the very best on that particular one. When you log on to our website, www.vnationtv.com, there are more trending stories and of course more details of all these particular stories on our social media handles. Once again, my name is Kelvin FNK. Follow me on my social media handle, Kelvin_FNK on Instagram, and of course Kelvin FNK on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for you to get a repost of all the exciting programs we have right here on VNTV, the power of entertainment. If I don't say this, they will kill me. I want to say a very big thank you to our chief editor, Trick, right? I call him by his name, Patrick. That is the name I know. Patrick is his name. And of course, my DOP extraordinaire, Mr. Femi. Thank you all for making this a success. Once again, my name is Kelvin FNK. Enjoy the rest of our programs.